In this video, I am going to discuss about the bony features of the articulated foot. Here in my hand, you can see this is articulated foot. This is articulated foot. The bones which are present in the articulated foot are the tarsal, the metatarsals, and the phalanges. There are 7 tarsal bones, 5 metatarsal, and 14 phalanges. The tarsals are arranged in 3 rows, the proximal row, the middle row, and the distal rows. The size of the tarsal is larger than as compared to the carpal bones because the tarsal bones have to support the body weight and it distributes the body weight. Okay, now the tarsal bones are arranged in 3 rows, the proximal row. In the proximal row, there are 2 large tarsal bones. In the middle row, there is 1 tarsal bone. In the distal row, there are 4 tarsal bones. Okay. So first of all, we will discuss about the proximal row. In the proximal row, there are 2 tarsal bones. This bone which is present above is the talus, and below talus is calcaneum. Talus, calcaneum. So there are 2 bones, 2 tarsal bone in the proximal row, talus and calcaneum. In the middle row, there is 1 tarsal bone, that is the navicular bone. In the distal row, there are 4 tarsal bones. From medial to lateral, there are 3 cuneiform and 1 cuboid. The cuneiforms are from medial to lateral, the medial cuneiform, intermediate cuneiform, the lateral cuneiform, and the cuboid. Okay. Now, we will discuss some bony features of the tarsal bones. First of all, we will discuss about the talus. The talus bone is the second largest tarsal bone. It is the second largest tarsal bone. Okay, it has a head, a neck, and a body. Head, neck, and body. Anteriorly, the head is present anteriorly. Anteriorly, the head is convex and it articulates with the navicular bone. And the neck is the middle constricted part between the head and the body. On the inferior surface of the neck, there is a groove present on the inferior surface of the neck. The name of that groove is sulcus stelli. This sulcus stelli lies just opposite to a groove present on the superior surface of the calcaneum, and the name of that groove which is present on the superior surface of calcaneum is sulcus calcanei. Together these 2 grooves forms a tunnel, and the name of that tunnel is, you can see this is the tunnel here. A tunnel is formed and the name of that tunnel is sinus tarsi. Okay. Now, this posterior part forms the body of the talus bone. The body of the talus has 5 surfaces: the superior surface, inferior surface, the medial surface, the lateral surface, and a posterior surface. The superior surface is also known as trochlear surface. This articulates with the lower end of the tibia and forms the ankle joint. And this is the medial surface. This medial surface is divided into 2 parts. The upper smooth area, that is comma shaped, is articular, and below in this area is rough and it is non-articular. This upper comma shaped area is the facet for the articulation of the medial malleolus of tibia. And here this is the lateral surface, which is somewhat triangular in shape. You can see here this is like triangular in shape. This area, this lateral surface of the talus articulates with the lateral malleolus, and the apex of this triangular area lies posteriorly, and it represents the lateral tubercle of talus. Okay. Now, this is the posterior surface. This is the posterior surface of talus, and here you can see there is a groove present over here. between the two tubercles, the lateral tubercle and medial tubercle. Through this groove passes the tendon of flexor hallucis longus. Okay. Now we have discussed about the superior surface. We have discussed about the medial, the lateral, and the posterior surface. Now the inferior surface. The inferior surface is articular. It articulates with the superior surface of the calcaneum and forms the subtalar joint. It forms the subtalar joint. Okay. Now we will discuss about the calcaneum. The calcaneum, the word calcaneum in Latin means heel. So it forms the heel of our foot. Okay. So the calcaneum has 6 surfaces: anterior surface, posterior surface, superior surface, inferior surface, the medial surface, and a lateral surface. The anterior surface, it articulates with the cuboid bone. Anteriorly, the calcaneum articulates with the cuboid bone. The posterior surface of calcaneum is divided into 3 parts: the upper rough area and upper smooth area, and below there are 2 rough areas. Here in the posterior aspect, in the rough area, there is insertion of tendocalcaneus. Tendocalcaneus is formed by the tendon of soleus and gastrocnemius muscle, and there is one more muscle which is attached over here, that is plantaris muscle. Okay. Now we will discuss about the superior surface of calcaneum. The superior surface of calcaneum is divided into 3 parts: the posterior 1/3, middle 1/3, and anterior 1/3. The posterior 1/3 is non-articular, the middle 1/3 is articular, and anterior 1/3 is partly articular and partly non-articular. The middle 1/3 articulates with the inferior surface of the body of talus, and it forms the subtalar joint. Okay, and here this is the medial surface of calcaneum. It is concave from side to side. This medial surface shows a projection over here. This projection is known as sustentaculum talli. Sustentaculum talli. And below this sustentaculum talli, there is a groove present over here. So this groove lodges the tendon of flexor hallucis longus. The tendon of flexor hallucis longus passes here from the posterior surface, the groove present on the posterior surface of talus. Then it goes on the groove here present below the sustentaculum talli, and then finally it gets inserted over the base of the distal phalanx of the great toe. Okay. Now, coming to the lateral surface, this is the lateral surface of the calcaneum. It is almost flat, and there is a tubercle present in the anterior part of this lateral surface of calcaneum. This tubercle is known as peroneal tubercle. The peroneal tubercle, there are 2 tendons which passes above and below this tubercle. The peroneal tubercle. Below this tubercle passes the tendon of peroneus longus, and peroneus brevis, the tendon of peroneus brevis, passes above this peroneal tubercle. Now we have to discuss about the inferior surface. This is the inferior surface of calcaneum. It has 3 tubercles. One